friends. I have a fun little experiment for you to play with. I've been talking on Patreon a lot about color moods, color theory, warm and cool biases. So I thought I'd do this fun little experiment for you to try here. I'm going to do a tree, and let's just go ahead and paint the trunk, which isn't part of this really. I'm going to use some dry brush here, just a regular old tree, nothing special. The tree trunk, there we go. Okay, I'm gonna rinse my brush. Before any of you asked, by the way, that was Van Dyke Brown. There we go. And we'll just, you know, do something like this down here at the bottom. Okay. Nothing special. It's not about the tree necessarily here. Although look at me, I can't stand it. I gotta add more in. Okay, let's move on to our tree. So one side of this tree I'm gonna do in a cool color palette of greens. So let's mix those greens using the cool primaries. So we've got a lemon yellow here, which is a cool primary, and we've got our blue here. So let's mix that. Look at that. I already had mixed some here. So we've got that. We've got our cool blue, which in our MEEDEN palette, I'm using fresh blue. And I'm also using, let's see here. Let me get that fresh blue. So here's that fresh blue. You could even use like a turkey blue. So we've got our fresh blue there. And then we've got the cool yellow is lemon yellow. So there we go. We've got this beautiful, nice, cool biased, meaning it's leaning more towards the blue side of the color wheel. So this is the blue side, the cool side. And I remember that by thinking the cool side is what reminds you of water. So we've got that. Let's go ahead and create our tree here. Nothing special, because again, this isn't really about creating a tree. It's more about showing you the difference between a cool color palette and a warm color palette. So I know that looks weird. It's just I'm going to do half of the tree in the cool color palette and half in a warmer color palette, and play with this so you can kind of see what you like. So I might even add in there some more yellows like that, maybe some soft cool blues. So we can even use some of that to go in there for some of those shadowy colors, and let the blues kind of mix in there to create a green. There we go, just a little bit here and there. So there you go. You've got this nice, beautiful, cool color palette. I know, that looks weird, doesn't it? But let's now mix a warm green. So I'm going to use the cad yellow, which is definitely more towards the oranges. You can see that. So we've got our cad yellow here. Grab a little bit more. And then, let me get some of that off. I hate to waste my paint. Rinse my brush really good. And let's go for more of a warmer blue. So I'm even going to use, I think I'm even going to use that Prussian blue. Let's see that. That is a deep, darker blue. You can also use ultramarine, is considered a warmer blue. So look at the green we're getting there. Compared to that, it's much warmer. So let's go ahead and start going in there. It's almost like an olivey green. But see how that evokes an emotion? It really, you know, has a whole different feel to it. So let's go in and do a little bit more of that. I'm going to grab a little bit more of that ultramarine blue. Create that green. There we go. Add some water. So look at that. That's why it's so important for you to have some familiarity. I'm adding in some of that blue with your color wheel so you can kind of understand why your painting might feel different with the different colors you use. So this side feels completely different. It has a whole, this is very springtimey. This side's warm and almost summery. So try this out. Let's add some of that cad yellow in there too, just because we kind of did that here. So this yellow, again, it's much warmer. There you go. All right, I hope this kind of made you think about the color wheel and the cool biases and the warm biases. By the way, most of your colors, all of your colors are going to have a bias to them. So your lemon, you have your primaries, yellow, red, and blue, but there are warm yellows, which is like the cad yellow. There's warmer blues, like your ultramarine blue, and there's a warmer red, like maybe your vermilion. The cooler primaries, I use my red rose, my fresh blue or turkey blue, and lemon yellow. And so play with those. See what you think about these, and I'd love to hear which you're kind of pulled to. So this is warm, this is cold, or cool. Cool bias, warm bias. All right, everybody, I hope that was informative and fun, and you do your own experimenting, and I would love to hear what you think. All right, happy painting.